All right, good morning. And so, wait lang natin yung mga reporters na mag-i-ready. And before I call them out, just want to say good morning to everyone who are watching now. And, sige, wait lang muna natin yung mga other classmates. Good morning po. So, mailang na muna natin na makapasok sila. Okay, so first I will be sending the link for your attendance here in our chat box sa okay. So while waiting po, and while our reporters are getting ready, malinaw naman po yung audio ng ating malinaw po. Mahina daw yung boses ko o mahina yung sige lang, nakasan natin. Kasi yeah, okay na yan. I think it's okay, so while waiting, yan again, pleasant morning to everyone. So for today's discussion, we're going to have the group 4 that will be discussing chapter 5, staffing for service. Okay, to be headed by Miss Antoinette Gadia. Go to net ba? Maraming na mukhang malaki bigayan dito May mga cheerer. Magkano may mga may mga cheerer ka go to net, sabi ni Miss Valindres. Ayan, so first I will be sending the link for your attendance for today's discussion. So no need for you for the reporters to fill out this attendance All right, so I sent the link of your attendance, so kindly fill it out. And for the last question, the usual last question, what have you learned? I want you to write what you've learned from the video I posted recently. Okay, anything you've learned from that video that the last reporter presented to me. Okay, so for today, we're going to discuss chapter 5, staffing for service, headed by Miss Gadia, with Miss Clemente and Miss Magno. Okay, kindly like and comment present if you are done to mag-comment lang po ng present if you are done answering the form. magandang umaga. Good morning, everyone. So that I can review kung sino-sino po yung mga nandito sa atin at nakikinig sa ating discussion. Alright, so without further ado, let's welcome and let's listen to the presentation of the group 4. We'll be discussing Chapter 5, Staffing for Service. Ms. Gadia, please do the honors. Thank you.
So, good morning everyone. Ako po yung mag-i-intro.
Si ano pala, si Miss Clemente pala mag-i-intro. Okay, so please, Miss Clemente, you may start. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. Good morning sir and to those who are in the live stream. And today we're going to tackle about Section 2, the Hospitality Services Staff, in Chapter 5, Staffing for Service. With the hospitality principle, find and hire people who love to serve. Next slide, please. So let's start first with the quote. If someone isn't smiling during the interview, what in the world would make you think they will be smiling when faced with a line of customers all in hurry for service, 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 service? By T. Scott Gross, Positively Outrageous Service. So, yung quote, totoo nga naman na kung sa interview pa lang nakabusangot ka na, what more pa kaya in terms of service na we all know sa industry na pinasukan natin is more on interactions with the line of customers and give the services they want. So many job seekers find it challenging to blend two important things, which is ang interview and smile. So para sa mga applicants, kung gusto mo talagang, or para sa atin in the future, kung gusto talaga nating matanggap sa trabaho, during the first few seconds of interview, your friendly smile will tell the interviewer you are easygoing and enthusiastic. It also shows that you are confident in your abilities and eager to help others along. Those who smile more also help create a more pleasant environment. So it is important to smile during a job interview. Just be careful not to do so too much. Kasi smiling excessively will only make you look weird and detached. Try to make your smiles appropriate based on the moment and what is being discussed. So, as we go along, let's have the learning objectives first. Next slide, please. Next slide po. So, the first learning objectives. Learning objectives. After reading this chapter, you should understand the process of recruiting employees who will give excellent guest service, internal and external strategies that organizations use. Next slide, please. And the other one is standard approaches and techniques for screening and interviewing job candidates, and also employee skills, traits, and general abilities that have been found to lead to guest service excellence. Next slide po ulit. And the last two objectives, the importance of strong service orientation for all organizational employees, not just those on the front line serving guests. And the last but not the least, the importance of a diversified workforce to hospitality organization. When you check in a hotel, most of the time things go as expected. You drive up to the hotel, get your luggage out, go to the front desk, give the agent your name. Send po. She interacts with you, the front desk, she interacts with you pleasantly while she finds your reservation, handles the check-in, gives your key, and has the luggage sent up to the room. So, next slide po. You let yourself into your room without incident. You maybe watch TVs to relax after your trip and then you go to sleep. So if someone were to ask you how were the employees of that hotel, you might think back to your front desk experience and say fine. Sa answer na fine, doon sa tanong sa'yo ng friend or relative mo na how were the employees of that hotel, ang maiisip mo lang na employee is thinking back to your check-in is yung nasa front desk na nag-asikaso sa iyo or sa inyo from checking in hanggang sa makarating kayo sa room. Without knowing na may mga tao pa behind na nakipag-coordinate sa front desk para lang maibigay or ma-reach ang inyong expectations. Next slide po. Next slide pa po. Sino nga ba yung mga nakipag-coordinate na ito? There was the reservationist na nag-book ng reservation nyo, the manager na nag-hired and scheduled the reservationist, the valet who parked your car if meron man, the bell person na nagbitbit ng luggage nyo, and the next is the doorman who let you into the hotel. Next slide po. And the front desk agent na siyang naalala mo from the very start, syempre. The front desk manager who scheduled enough people to be on staff to ensure that your check-in occurred in a reasonable amount of time. The housekeeper, syempre, na naglinis ng kwarto na pinag-check-inan nyo. The maintenance person, of course, who made sure that the electricity inside your room were working, the light bulbs and the TV remotes, of course. And the last is the executive staff, who were responsible for the higher level management activities that ensured profitability and efficiency of the hotel. So this chapter begins a discussion of the human resource issues involved in managing the guest experience. So by reviewing the first issue, hiring the people who can deliver the experience your guest expects. So let's begin with the first topic to be delivered by Ms. Gadia.
So, the many employees of the hospitality industry. Providing either a tangible or an intangible service product requires many different employees doing many different jobs. Most obvious are the front of house employees who interact with the guests. They are directly responsible for providing the value and quality of an exceptional experiences. Yung mga tao po na nandoon sa nasa mga front house or employees na nasa paronan sa mga desk na yung nag-i-interact, nagwe-welcome sa mga guests, ay sila yung, kumbaga sila yung parang face ng ating exceptional experience kasi sa kanila nag-uumpisa yung yung values and quality ng ating hotel next. Because they are the interface between the guest and the company, back of house employees or what is sometimes called the heart of the house employees help create the service experience. Beyond this task, there are laws. So, ang back of house employees, sila yung heart of the house dahil sila yung gumagawa ng service, sila yung sumusuporta, sila yung kumikilos doon sa para mabigyan yung mga guests natin ng unforgettable experience. So, beyond this task, there are laws and regulation that must be followed, accounts that must be balanced, financial statements that must be created, strategies that must be developed and implemented, marketing and sales that must be done. All these tasks and the people who perform these are critical for a successful business. Serving the guest. While many people are involved in the delivery of any service experience, it is the frontline or customer contact employee with whom the guest interacts that has the most direct influence. Tulad nga po ng sabi ko kanina na yung mga nasa front desk, sila po yung nakikipag-usap sa doon sa ating guest para maengganyo na dito sila sa hotel natin, dito sila kumain, dito sila mag-check-in, and at the same time, sila yung nagbibigay sa atin ng sila yung nagbibigay ng warm welcome doon sa ating mga guests. This employee, the front desk agent, the restaurant server, the character at a theme park, the driver of the bus, the flight attendant, is frequently the one that can turn against a guest experience into a wow that is memorable. Sila po yung nagbibigay natin yung mga tao na nakikipag-usap, yung nagsiserve, sila yung nagbibigay sa atin ng ng unforgettable experience. Kung gaano sila maging hospitality sa atin para maibigay yung experience na nararapat para sa atin bilang sa guest. This can be done in a variety of ways, but one way is to add something extra and unexpected to the experience. Yes. Many employees contribute to the service experience beyond those often seen by the guests, such as employee can make the service experience something special, worthy, or being told to friends. Yun, kapag meron silang unforgettable memories na nangyayari doon, sabihin nila kunyari, ay dito sa hotel na to, maganda dito. Makukwento nila yun sa pamilya nila, sa mga kaibigan nila, at kung sino pa yung kanilang na-interact sa mga katrabaho man nila, or recorded in books about great service experiences by adding an extra service to an already outstanding service product. Supporting the services. If employees are to deliver excellent service, there must be something excellent to deliver the first place, and just as guest contact employees must have the right abilities and motivation to interact appropriately and engagingly with guests. So, employees in non-contact positions must have the right abilities and motivation to do their jobs if an excellent service experience is going to receive. Tama naman. Lahat naman po tayo mga employees po natin kung magagaling magtrabaho, kahit na in contact man or non-contact, kung yung binibigay nila yung best nila doon sa trabaho, ma-appreciate yun ng guest. At magiging excellent nga ang service na binibigay natin sa ating mga guests. Almost any service encounter requires some back of the house people providing support to those interacting with guests. The role of the manager. Ito, isa rin po ito sa pinaka-importante. Hospitality is such a labor-intensive industry that there must also be managers to supervise, coach, and coordinate the many employees doing the different jobs. So, kumbaga, from the word manage, sila yung nagsusupervise, nag-coach, sila yung nagtuturo doon kung paano nila pagagalawin, pakikilusin yung mga employees sa iba't ibang parte ng mga trabaho. Supervisors and managers have a number of important roles, from checking employees work to creating work schedules, supplying necessary equipment and supplies, providing training, and conducting performance evaluations. Dahil ito yung mga importante, yung natin yung quality ng paggawa ng mga trabahador natin, yung kung paano natin sila bibigyan ng tamang pagtuturo kung paano ba nila gagawin yan, yung mga equipment na kailangan nila, at the same time, para maging maganda yung performance nila. Okay, yet, managers in service firms are faced with very different issues than managers in product-producing firms. Both front house and back house employees must work together to provide an exceptional service experience. Kasi yung kahit na nag-i-interact or non-contact man yung employees natin, dapat yung dalawang yun, malaki, yung bond nila dapat ay talagang stick talaga sa isa't isa. Kasi kung hindi magtutulong-tulong yung front house and yung back house, paano natin mabibigyan ng magandang experience yung mga guests natin? Kasi, di ba, yung mga nagko-contact, yung mga nasa front desk, yung mga nagtutour guide, yung mga nag-serve, at the same time yung sa back house, yung mga nagluluto, yung mga nag-aayos ng mga gamit or kung ano man naglilinis, yun yung, kumbaga dapat dalawa yun eh. Dalawa silang stick na para magkaroon ng exceptional service experience para sa mga guests natin. The simultaneous production of consumption of service makes the hospitality managerial role complex and difficult to spell out. In addition to their administrative responsibilities, hospitality managers are accountable for success on qualitative measures and often perform a customer service role as well. Kasi yung manager natin, yung mga manager tulad ng sabi dito, yung mga manager natin sila yung nagmamanage eh. Kumbaga, nasa kanila yung balik ng ano. Kung maganda yung pag-ano ng manager, pagmamanage ng manager sa employees sa iba't ibang aspect ng jobs, ibig sabihin magiging maganda rin yung qualities, yung quality ng service na mapoprovide natin sa ating visitors. Finding and hiring managers with these capabilities is at least as important, critical, and challenging as hiring customer service employees. Yes. Loving to serve. While employees in different positions will obviously play different roles and have different levels of customer contact, ultimately the hospitality industry comes down to providing service. Excuse me. Each employee helps deliver that service either direct or indirectly. Lahat naman ng employee tumutulong. It's either contact or non-contact. When one comes across employees who deliver exceptional customer service experiences, they really stand out. Scott Goss called these people service naturals. Ito yung may mga talento na talaga. Talentong mga employees na magaling na talaga sila sa kung anong larangan man yung pinasukan nila. Because they instinctively give great service when provided the opportunity. Yes. These are the employees who can change a regular interaction into something special that the guest will both appreciate and remember. Through this experience, the server connects with the guest in a way that builds a relationship. Kasi kapag maganda yung natural, talented, kumbaga hindi siya madaling makalimutan ng guest, parang nag-iiwan siya ng tatak dun sa puso ng guest na, ay, eto, pag ganito na, nung dito naalala ko, ang galing ng mga tao dito, ang galing ng, magaganda sila magturo, magaganda sila ng guest. Too often, very brief, this relationship somehow makes an emotional connection that leaves the guest feeling good about the experience and believing that something was special and memorable about it. The challenge for hospitality organizations seeking excellence is to find and hire these people who can make this connection with guests. It is critical for exceptional service organization to find two employees who love to serve. Kasi mahirap naman talaga makapaghanap ng mga employees na yung gustong-gusto nila yung trabaho nila kahit na mahirap, hindi madali, mainit. Pero kung alam mo na yung employee mo gustong-gusto yung ginagawa niya, talagang maganda yung quality ng labas ng labor ng employee mo. First, they need to work hard at developing a process that will systematically find, recruit, and select those 10% who are truly committed to providing excellent service naturally. Second, they must work even harder to develop an effective process for showing the rest how to provide the same quality of service that the natural do naturally. So, yung mga employees na na mga gumagawa lang natural, parang talent na nila, yung mga hindi marunong, sila yung binibigyan ng ng training para maging kapantay yung quality ng binibigay nilang trabaho doon sa mga naturally talented na sa labor nila. Because naturally talented people are so rare in labor pool, the organization must identify what skills are lacking in the people they do hire and train them in those skills. Like what I've said. The first step, study the job. Human resource planning. Konti na lang po. Selecting the best person for the job should begin by first looking not at the applicants but the job. First, you should engage in human resource planning. Bakit? Human resource planning is the process of analyzing an organization's current human resource capabilities and the organization's human resource needs that are required to meet organization objectives. Based on your organization strategy, you must determine what knowledge, skills, and capabilities employees must process to accomplish your goals. Dapat alam mo yung mga skills and abilities na dapat na kailangan mo para kung gusto mong quality or anong goal yung gusto mong abutin. And how you expect both organization and people to develop over time. Yes, HR planning not only is directed at today's employees' need but also should be done with a longer run perspective. While most recruitment activity is focused on filling jobs that are currently vacant, some effort should be given to anticipating the long-term employment need of the organization. HR planning may reveal that you have too many employees, so layoffs may be necessary. Current KSAs are enough to create or show organization needs to acquire more people with more skills. You may also determine that you can acquire the new skills by training current employees or by motivating and empowering your both commonly. You will find the best way to acquire the needed KSA by hiring new employees. Kasi nga po, nakasalalay po yung magandang quality ng ating service kung yung mga employees natin ay magagaling at more talented. Kumbaga, yung gusto mong quality na papantayan ng laborers mo, papantayan ng mga magagaling na employees mo. Job analysis. A careful true job analysis allows the organization to identify the exact job specification and required competencies for each job classification. Dito naman po yung job analysis, ito na po yung nagbibigay ng classification, tsaka kung saan ba kung ano ba yung dapat na job na kunin, kung ano ba yung nararapat para doon, for ano ba yung required na mga talent, skills, and everything dun sa job na yun. A job analysis will tell you if you need physically strong people to assist park visitors into a ride, skilled lifeguards to keep people safe in the water parks, or multilingual people to speak to foreign guests. Many organizations spend a considerable sum of money identifying the KSAs associated with each major job or job category, and then develop measures to test applicants on the degree to which they have these KSS. Ang job analysis at KSS, connected po sila kasi yung qualities and specification ng job ay nandoon. A carefully developed measurement process ensures that the tests are both valid and reliable to provide an effective and legally defensive means for putting the right candidates into the right jobs. Further, a careful job analysis to develop accurate selection of measures has the added benefit in identifying training needs and building reward structures that are directly connected to the critical knowledge skills and abilities closely linked with job performance. Indeed, many hospitality organizations find attitude so important that they use this staffing principle, hire for attitude, train for skills. Tama nga po naman. Dahil kung ang personality, magaganda ang personality ng ating mga employees, madali lang i-train yan eh. Madali lang turuan. Pero yung attitude, mahirap yun baguhin. From the guest perspective, another way of expressing this idea is found in a commonly heard hospitality saying. Guests don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Of course, you cannot forget that you need to hire people with these right skills. Kasi po yung sa personality, kahit gaano pa kagaling yan, kung ma-attitude naman, anong sasabihin ng guest. Kasi nasa industry tayo ng hospitality nga eh. Kumbaga, yung attitude and the way we talk sa mga guests natin, the way we interact with them, nandoon yun eh. Kailangan yun eh. To perform the job or at least the right abilities to be successfully trained on the job. But employees' attitude can also be important factor whether a company provides service excellence or of service value. Basta yung maganda yung, syempre kailangan dalawa yun, personality and yung quality ng work, quality ng job na ginagawa ng ating Study your best performers.
Okay. The next topic. Sorry po. The next topic is study your best performers. Next po. Next po. The idea is that if you hire only employees, you have the idea is that if you hire only employees who have traits, skills, abilities, tendencies, talents, and personality characteristics that are similar to those found in the current strong job performers, they should be more successful than new employees who don't have those same characteristics. So if you want to find a successful new job performer, find an existing successful job performer and hire someone as nearly like that person in terms of KSA or the knowledge, skills, and abilities and attitudes as possible. So the trick of studying your best performers, of course, is para makilala or malaman mo ang mga natatanging katangian na nagbibigay sa inyong mga performer para magtagumpay. Next slide po. Develop talent profiles. The idea here, next slide po. The idea here is to look at an organization's strong performers and, based on their talents, develop talent profiles for each major job category. Then, they use these benchmark profiles to screen new applicants. So, the talents required ng mga employees na nakakagawa ng who can do this well include having very good empathetic listening, interpersonal and coaching skills, in addition to the ability to handle large sums of money rapidly and carefully. So the use of this approach, the use of the develop talent profile approach, can even be extended to look at mixed talents in entire departments. If an analysis of a particular department shows that the current composition of people does not include some vital talent for departmental success, the selection process can ensure na yung person na ma-hire mo will have an ample supply of the missing ingredients or missing talent na hinahanap mo. So, competency-based approaches disadvantage. Next po. Competency-based approaches disadvantage. Competency-based approaches to selection have a few drawbacks. Designing them for a single job or a single job category can be quite expensive unless the organization has a lot of people doing that job. Next slide po. For example po ng other, pabalik po. Example po ng competency-based approaches is yung Marriott Hotel employs so many hotel assistant managers na developing a competency profile becomes worthwhile. An independent hotel may not believe that the considerable expense of having a professional organization come into this work and recaptured any selection efficiencies gained. Further, as the necessary competencies change, so too must the selection. All competency measures are essentially anchored on the successful practitioners in the current organization. If the organization wants diversity in opinion, training, talents, and personalities to promote change and organizational growth, the use of the mix of existing executives to establish the norms for who should be hired in the future may impede gaining the benefits of a diverse workforce. Let's move on to the other key characteristics for service personnel. So, to provide the exceptional service, while certain KSAs or competencies can be identified for a specific job, meron tayo ditong known characteristics na needed ng mga employees who are actually serving customers, clients, or guests. Isa dito sa characteristic na ito is enthusiasm. So to provide exceptional service, guest contact employees must have an enthusiastic approach to life. Enthusiasm is contagious, and guests come to most hospitality organizations expecting to be served by employees who are enthusiastic about the service itself, the organization, and the opportunity to provide service. There are very few guests who do not want and expect a feel-good guest experience that only enthusiastic employees can deliver. Contagious, yes, contagious yung enthusiasm. Totoo na nakakahawa siya. So there are some guests na nag-expect ng enthusiasm hindi lang sa service na natatanggap nila from the crews or staffs or other employees, kundi pati na rin sa organization itself. Next slide po. Enthusiastic employees show their enthusiasm sa marami at sa iba't ibang paraan. Pero ang pinaka-importante is to put on a show for the guest. So Scott Gross devotes a significant part of Positively Outrageous Service to the importance of hiring and training people who can create the show. He believes a touch of spontaneous, unrehearsed showmanship can provide the margin of difference between a hospitality experience. So, Positively Outrageous Service means mga tao or staffs who had been playing with customers all along finally had a name for what they had been doing all along. So, ito yung kapag yung customer or guest mo is madaldal or friendly, kaya mo siyang sabayan. Pag sinabing Positively Outrageous Service, it is a random and unexpected. Invites the customer to play or to be otherwise personally involved and creates positive, compelling word of mouth. It is the story you can't wait to tell. So may mga customer na nagkikwento or nag-share about experiences in hotel, restaurants, and other hospitality organizations. So next po. Enthusiastic hospitality show people whether maging server man na unexpectedly kumakanta during a restaurant meal or bus driver na nag-deliver ng pag sinabing show people, gagawa ka ng possible for something to be seen. Yung pagsiserve mo is hahaluan mo ng something para maalala ng customer ang experience nila with your service. Tulad na lamang ng habang bumabiyahe papuntang airport, nag-rent kayo ng car, yung driver meron siyang comedic monologue and the amusement park employee na spontaneously turns an unexpected delay for an attraction into a good show. So, like kapag nakita ka nila, may one time pag nakita ka nila, sasabihin nilang, di ba ikaw yung bibong staff na nagsiserve sa amin dati? In that way, hindi nila makakalimutan kung paano mo sila enthusiastically pinagsisilbihan. So to not only perform their jobs, to not only perform their jobs in exceptional ways, but also create a good show for the guest, add value to the guest experience in important ways. So, next slide po. First, they make the experience memorable and help keep the hospitality organization in the top of the guest mind, increasing the likelihood of return of repurchase. Example, who can forget the Southwest attendant who surprises newly boarded passengers sa pamamagitan ng pagkanta ng pre-flight safety instructions into rap music. This entails more than just doing the job. Minsan kasi yung mga guests will get extra value from being entertained while dealing with boarding. Tulad na lamang ng boarding a plane. Yun ang ginawa ng parang hindi ma-board yung mga passengers. Ginawang rap music ng isang flight attendant ang kanilang pre-flight safety instructions. Yan. So, employing servers, next po. Employing servers who interact with guests in this way creates a competitive advantage since no competitor can design into its service experience the same feeling. Next po. The same feeling of a unique and personalized show for the guest that the well-selected, well-trained, enthusiastic employee can.
Amber, can you please open your microphone?
Employee servers na marunong makahalubilo sa mga guests enthusiastically creates competitive advantage since walang competitor na may mga competitor man na pwedeng gayahin yung strategies mo, pero ito yung advantage mo ng inyong organization na yung mga employees na marunong makihalubilo sa guest. So next po. An organization that encourages its employees to take every opportunity to be creative and individualistic with guests, connect with guests, and use their showmanship tells employees that the company appreciates their skills and trusts them to do the right thing with customer. So, the more na ini-encourage mo yung mga employees mo na mas creative and individualistic, the more din na ginaganahan silang magtrabaho kasi ramdam nila na na-appreciate yung skills nila at lahat ng ginagawa nilang trabaho is na-appreciate lahat ng ginagawa nilang trabaho at present din ang tiwala sa kanila ng kanilang mga employer. For servers who sought the job partly for the opportunity to demonstrate their creativity and originality, this is a fun part of the job. Para sa mga server na naghahanap ng trabaho para sa pagkakataong ipakita ang kanilang creativity and originality, ito ay masayang bahagi ng kanilang trabaho or mas gaganahan sila. Employees with guest contact responsibility should demonstrate an authentic sense of concern for their guests. They must be upbeat, cheerful, enthusiastic, and interested in serving the guest, even when the guest is not reciprocally positive and even when they themselves don't feel upbeat or positive. Next slide po. So, demonstrate an authentic sense of concern or yung genuine or real sense of concern sa nararamdaman ng customers or guests. Kahit yung guest is not reciprocally positive or even ikaw mismo na server. Next po. This requires them to engage in emotional labor, which can be just as tiring as physical labor. When hiring individuals into customer contact roles, companies must select individuals with the ability to not only do their jobs but also make a connection with guests in an emotional relationship. During hiring process, para sa employee na ang role ay related sa contacting with customers, the first thing na tinitignan sa isang employee is may ability siya on how to deal with guests including emotional relationship. Malalaman ito through conducting a training. So, putting on a happy, next slide po. Putting on a happy face when you yourself are having a bad day is difficult. Next slide po. So when employees' true emotions are not consistent with the types of emotions, the company and the customers, they can act in one of two ways. Surface acting, where they modify their facial expressions or how the employees face their guests, whether with smile or casual face. Deep acting, where they modify their inner feelings or how they express their feelings toward customers. Next slide po. Everyone, no matter how service-oriented, can make or act as if they can make this heavy emotional commitment consistently. All hospitality employees have had guests who push them to their limits and thus challenge their genuine commitment to provide great service. Some positions require listening to complaining guests all day At ang ibang employees naman, a point comes when they can endure it no longer, or na parang hindi na nila kayang i-handle ang pakikinig sa mga complaints ng guest. It may take a day, a week, or a year, or years, but this type of negative experience eventually exact its toll on the employee and results in burnout. So, next po. Sometimes, it doesn't even take negative experience. Yung ibang employees ay nagbe-burnout dahil sa pagod na silang mag-act ng same positive, upbeat way in the same job sa araw-araw. So, let's watch a fast food server. Binabati nila yung karamihan with the same smile and same affected cheery greeting, and wonder gaano katagal yung server na yon ay nagpe-perform the same ritual. So, employees who engage in surface acting experience more negative effects than those who are able to engage in deep acting. At the same point, most people switch it into an automatic pilot mode because they can't perform the emotional labor of their jobs any longer. So, automatic pilot mode or autopilot, you are acting without thinking about what you are doing, usually because you have done it many times before. So, some employees have lost the emotional commitment to treat guests with sincerity. Finally, because service employees will be interacting with the guest, they should also be polite, considerate, and willing to make a genuine effort to help other people. For example, during the hiring process, observe kung paano itrato ng isang applicant yung isang receptionist bago ang interview. So, Bowen and Schneider termed this emotional commitment a passion for service, and they have developed a questionnaire for measuring it. More importantly, their research reports that a passion for service is highly correlated with positive service outcomes. Next po. To put general abilities together would lead to selecting someone who has the ability to handle emotional labor, can put on a consistent show in front of guests, cares about the quality of the performance and the guest reactions to it, and does it all with gusto. So, the second step, recruit a pool of qualified candidates. Next po. Yes po, next po. So, once you know na you are looking for new employees, kailangan mo ng diverse pool of qualified applicants kung saan pwede ka mamili. Saan ka ba pwede humanap niyan? The most basic choice here is sa kinukonsider mo ba yung galing sa loob na employees, or dun ka magre-rely sa labas during hiring process. So whether the company looks inside or outside may depend partially on the level of positions to be filled. If they are entry level, for example, like trainee, crew, or trainer, team leader, recruiting will occur mainly from outside. Doon karamihan hinahanap sa external candidates. So, pagka above entry level naman, the company will have to decide whether to promote from within or look outside. So, above entry level naman, yung different types of managers. Pwede sila yung company pwedeng mag-hire ng isang empleyado, or ipopromote nila yung isang empleyado na deserving sa pagiging manager, or kung wala naman silang mapili sa loob ng company, they might maghahanap sila sa labas through looking for some qualifications. Okay na po, sir.
Alright. Yan. So, from the introduction hanggang dito sa discuss ni Ms. Clemente, I just want to point out key points dun sa discussions nila. So, before I ask or discuss something, gusto ko munang tanungin si Mr. Ren. Okay, Mr. Ren, nandito ka pa ba? So, kung nandito ka pa, please pakigalaw yung mga baso. Okay. So, may question lang ako dun kay Mr. Red, and I want you to type your answer dito sa comment box natin. Or if you can invite Mr. Ren dun sa ating G class, sa G Meet. So, mas okay. Okay, but my question is, ano nga ba yung importance ng staffing sa isang organization? And also, dito sa mga binanggit ni Miss Clemente kanina, dun sa example niya ng mga staff na when guest checked in a hotel, okay, sino ba yung importante? Who among the employees or staff na nabanggit niya ang importante? Okay, so I will wait for Mr. Lucero's answer in a while. So while waiting, okay, so yun nga, maraming positions and staff ang kailangan natin in operating a hospitality establishment. Okay, so huwag kayong mangangamba na since kahit tayo ay nasa pandemya, okay, even we're here still in the pandemic, okay, don't lose hope not to have a job, okay, because as we all know, little by little we're coming back to the track or to the operations. Okay, so marami tayong possible na trabaho na pwedeng applyan at pwedeng ma-meet or ma-applyan natin. And so, sinasabi lang dito from their introduction to the topic na sinabi ni Ms. Clemente. Okay? So, serving the guest is very important. Okay? And your eagerness to serve these clients, these customers, these guests. Okay? And so, bilang isang hiring manager or isang organization, it's very important na alam natin kung sino ba yung i-hire natin. Are they qualified for this type of job? Okay? So, ito bang applicant na to can deliver the service that the organization is requiring? Okay, kasi if you are not, tulad nung sinabi ko sa inyo during your first year, okay, kasi ito yung trabaho natin. We give service to our customers. Okay? And so, if you can't see yourself doing this job, might as well change your course or change the degree you're taking up. Okay? Or maybe this is just your stepping stone to achieve your ultimate goal, and then kailangan nyo pa rin pag-aralan to. Okay? So, kailangan nasa sistema natin yung pagsiserve sa ating mga guests. Okay? So, tulad ng sinabi, hospitality is a very it's a labor-intensive industry. Okay? So, kailangan may managers dyan to supervise, para mag-coach sa kanyang mga employees, coordinate to each and every department. Okay? So, kailangan when you apply for a manager, kailangan ready ka. Hindi lang service ang pinag-uusapan dyan. You also have to know how to create a schedule. Okay? You also know how to determine what are the necessary equipment and supplies na kailangan. Tayo yung nagpo-provide ng training, nagko-conduct ng evaluation dun sa ating mga staff. Okay? And also, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, that kailangan nasa sistema natin yung pagsiserve sa ating mga guests. Okay? It is a job that should be willingly given to the customers. All right? And also, the work of the human resource is to determine who are the possible applicants or possible employees na ma-meet niya yung organizational objectives ng ating company. Okay? So, again, ano na nga ulit yung ibig sabihin natin ng KSA? Anyone from the class? Wag na yung reporters. Sige, alam na nila yan. Who can give the meaning of KSA? Sige, tingnan natin kung sino yung mauuna na mag-message or mag-comment ng ibig sabihin ng KSA. Hintayin natin. Miss Clemente, ikaw pa rin ba yung susunod na mag-present?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, sige. Nauna si Miss Placador, knowledge, skills, and ability. Okay? So, we have to know, as a hiring manager, you should know the knowledge, the skills, and the ability ng mga employees or future employees na nag-a-apply sa iyo. Okay? And so, kapag nalaman natin yung knowledge nila, ano ba yung alam nila? Ano ba yung natapos nila? Okay? Ano ba yung mga experiences na naranasan nila or experiences na nagawa nila saang mga other organizations sila nakapagtrabaho. Okay? And so, with this, additional is the skills. Okay? May mga seminars pa silang pinuntahan for a specific skills na hinahanap natin. Okay? And most especially, the abilities of the employees, kailangan yan possessed by the future or the tawag doon, nahanap ko yung prospective or prospected nating mga employees. Okay? And so, it's the work or it's the job of the hiring manager or the HR department to know who are the possible employees na merong KSA na tinatawag. Okay? Okay, so next is the job analysis. Okay, so this allows the organization to identify the exact job specification and required competencies for each job classification and type. Okay, hindi naman yan although may mga industry or may mga hospitality establishments na requiring so many job requirement or specifications. Okay? Yung tipong kapag nag-apply ka sa isang company, for example, hotel, okay? If I will ask you, sino ang i-hire ninyo? Yung isang employee na master niya or lahat ng job experience niya ay meron siya 2 years sa housekeeping, or sabihin natin yung first employee natin ay si applicant number 1, ang job experience niya ay meron siyang 10 years experience sa housekeeping, or meron tayong applicant number 2 that he or she has a 5-year experience, 5 years experience in housekeeping and 5 years experience in front office department. Sinong pipiliin natin? Kung ikaw yung yung hiring manager. Sige, tanungin natin si Miss Magno. For example, Miss Magno, ikaw yung hiring manager. Sino pipiliin? The applicant number 1 or the applicant number 2?
Hindi ko narinig, sir. Ang hina po kasi.
Alo? Mahina pa ba? May sumagot si Miss Bago at saka si Miss Edan. Applicant number 2. Okay, although meron tayong sinasabing job analysis and job requirement. Okay? For example, hindi naman talaga hiring tayo sa isang for front office. Okay? Since you are in a hotel business or hotel operations, ako on my own perspective, if I were the HR manager, okay, first is titinan ko muna kung ano ba yung requirement natin. Okay, kailangan ba natin ng anong klaseng housekeeping or housekeeper or housekeeping staff ang kailangan natin? Is it the housekeeping staff, the usual na naglilinis ng kwarto, or the usual or housekeeping staff that will be a possibly na magiging supervisor or magiging housekeeping manager. Okay. And so in that case, maybe we can choose the applicant number 1. But in the bigger picture, okay, you have to consider also the flexibility, okay, or versatility of these 2 employees or 2 applicants. Okay. Since si applicant number 2 ay kaya niya din sa front o may experience din siya sa front office, o in the event na i-hire ko si applicant number 2 and nagkaroon ng kakulangan doon sa front office department, pwede ko siyang ibato doon. Okay? So, better if you have a multiple job experience. Okay? And makakatulong sa iyo yun to get a higher position. Okay? Ako nga hindi naman ako accountant. Okay? Hindi naman ako CPA, Certified Public Accountant. Pero my boss asked me, can you do this job? Okay, tutulungan ka naman namin and bibigyan ka naman namin ng assistance para magawa mo yung trabaho. Okay? And then I took the opportunity na magkaroon ng panibagong knowledge when it comes to accounting, taxation. Yeah. And so ngayon, naging chief finance officer ako ng company. Okay, so hindi lang um, housekeeping ang alam ko, hindi lang sa reservations ang alam ko or front office ang alam ko. Marunong din ako sa finance. Okay? And so being versatile, okay, your versatility will be one of your sabihin nating skills and abilities na magagamit nyo and knowledge na magagamit nyo when it comes to applying to a job. Alright? So, but on the other hand, okay, when a big company or big organizations nagpo-post sila ng for hire, okay, meron silang tinatawag na job specification. Okay? For example, ang kailangan lang nila is housekeeping na tagalinis. So, specific yung requirement nila na kailangan meron kang at least 2 years na experience for this for cleaning. Okay? Mga ganon. Tapos, at least sabihin natin 2 years in college or diploma in hospitality or hotel and restaurant management. Ayan. And of course your background for this job. Okay. So very specific sila, most especially this big organization when it comes to hiring people. Right? And ayun, so development talent profiles. So yun nga, once you officially hired dun sa organization, okay, may profiling silang tinatawag. So dun muna magagamit lahat ng skills, abilities mo na meron ka. Okay? And so dun sa sinasabi yung diniscuss ni Miss Clemente na saan na ba yun? Recruit a pool of qualified candidates. Yun na ba yun? Ayan. Oops. Ayan, nawala. Nawawala tayo. One moment. Ayan. Okay, so ayun, so we have to recruit a pool of qualified candidates. Ito na ba yung asset pala, hiring candidates. So if we collected all the applicants, okay, all the applicants for final decision na, yeah, so that in that case pipili na si human resource manager of or for the possible person that is qualified for this job na hinahanap nila. Okay? Any question? Any further discussion or clarification from the reporters? Wala na? Wala na po ba, Miss Clemente? Okay, yes. Yan. So, Ren, hinihintay ko pa rin yung mo ha, yung sagot mo ha. Thank you. Miss Clemente, please proceed.
So the next topic is hiring internal candidates. So next slide po. Many companies prefer internal recruitment for several reasons. In fact, the practice of hiring from within is often seen as a best practice of human resource management. So may mga advantages din ang hiring internal candidates. We're going to discuss it as we go along. but it is no solution for all difficulties. The decision to hire from within needs to be considered in light of both its advantages and disadvantages. The first one is the known quantity. Next po. So the most important advantage of promoting from within is that you have much more information and more accurate information about your current employees than you do about external candidates. So mas kilala mo yung mga personality ng mga tao sa loob ng company mo. That is the advantage ng hiring from within kesa sa mga applicants from external or sa mga bago mo pa lang na i-hire. Next slide po. The internal candidate is a known quantity. That person's performance has been available for observation and evaluation every day, and the person's strengths and weaknesses are generally known. So, the present employee has shown loyalty to the organization by staying on and seeking higher levels of responsibility and challenge. So, dahil yung ibang external candidates will interview well at yung iba is poorly, managers doing the hiring can make mistakes. So sa kabilang banda, the good and bad qualities of a person ay evident at nakikita sa araw-araw, which is yung mga employees mo from inside the company. For these reasons, piniprefer ng karamihang organizations yung known inside candidate kesa sa outside because customer relationships are so important in hospitality organizations. It makes considerable sense and sense na mag-promote from the current employees who have proven and successful in their job, nagpapakita ng commitment sa customer service, and know and like the company culture, or connected to the company's customers and familiar sa organization's mission and commitment to guest service. Next advantage is
Okay, may additional lang ako dun sa discuss ni Ms. Clemente. Okay, dun sa hiring internal candidates. Okay, it's very important. That's why meron tayong tinatawag na profile of the employees. Okay? So, dun sa profiling na tinatawag, okay, so inaalam natin lahat ng backgrounds, kaya nga meron tayong work experience dun sa ating resume na tinatawag, no? And so, ipoprofile ni human resource lahat ng mga existing employees niya. And so, once na meron na siyang database ng lahat ng employees, and then in the event that a position becomes open, okay, it's very important that the position will be first open to the existing employees. Okay, bakit kaya, Ms. Clemente? Why do you think it's very important to get the next employee to that open position?
kasi po sir, may iba po kasi employees may idea na po kung paano po nila magagawa ng maayos yung position na available at kung alam po nila sa sarili nila na kung ano po sila, kung applicable po yung skills nila.
Yeah.
And also po nakikita po nila or na-experience po nila sa everyday po na nakakasama nila yung previous employee na nanggaling sa position.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so like for example, isa akong let's say housekeeping supervisor, and then nagkaroon ng opening for the front office assistant front office manager. Okay, So, for example, I have an experience when it comes to front office. Ako yung applicant number 2 kanina. Okay, since meron akong experience sa front office, the HR manager will first give the opportunity for me to apply for this position, for this vacant position. Since I have experience and I am also existing employee, okay? And so, um, yung mga employees sa loob or existing employees nila, sila yung unang bibigyan ng opportunity na pag-applyan for that position, okay? So, ganun din yung nangyayari sa amin sa aming company sa Tagaytay. Nga. Ayun, so binibigay muna yung position. Tatanungin niya muna kami if baka may gusto kayong tingnan sa mga employees nyo na available and pwedeng natin kunin para sa position na to. So naghahanap muna kami kasi since maliit lang naman yung organization namin sa Tagaytay. Okay? So dali kami makapag-decide if this is applicable, this is possible na i-hire natin si employee number 2 for this position. Okay? Go ahead, Miss
Sige po, sir.
Clement.
So, internal equity. So, the second reason for internal hiring is internal equity. Many hospitality organizations employ people from varied backgrounds and with different levels of training and education. Next slide po. Many employees, except those in some technical areas and those with unique qualification and experience, start at the same entry level point. Each has an equal opportunity to prove a commitment to service excellence if they wish to get promoted. So, at the hotel front desk, may makikita kang recent college graduate, an older person na nag-change ng careers, and a person na may high school or technical school degree. Lahat sila working side by side at sinusubukang i-impress yung front desk manager with their merits para sa promotion. Tapos may isang newly hired outsider and gets the vacancy at a higher level agad. So these hardworking employees will not feel fairly treated. So tinulungan nila yung organization na ma-achieve yung success. Now, they should be recognized para sa kanilang contributions at allowed to share or get the reward. Kasi ginagawa nila yung lahat para lang makuha yung desired position nila. So, says Kenneth we invest heavily in training for our staff, not just to improve their performance, but also to prepare them for career advancement when opportunities arise from our rapid business growth. The group also benefits from having experienced employees well-versed in our corporate culture. Yung trainees mo. Apo. Sige po, sir. Apo. So, yung training sa mga staff ay hindi lang para sa improvement ng performance, kundi para din sa preparation sa time na paglago ng business. So, yung training is para yung mga employees ay matulungang lumago yung company. The next advantage is experience. So, next most people, as just mentioned, start in the hospitality industry by taking entry-level jobs. Companies want their employees to know the business from the ground up. This hiring strategy is usually uncompetitive and unattractive for college graduates who have not acquired such experience through co-op or intern programs. So, samantalang yung ibang graduates ay willing to take the entry level para may ma-improve sa sarili at para ma-improve nila yung skills nila. Kasi bit-bit nila yung kasabihan na experience is the best teacher. Pinipili nilang ma-hire sa isang entry level na position. So, yung iba naman is unwilling to accept kasi because of low starting salary na ino-offer ng isang hospitality organization. So, hiring from within makes it possible to gain. Next po. Hiring from within makes it possible to gain the employee commitment needed while maintaining the entry-level salary structure. The well-managed hospitality organizations have systems in place to recognize potential and have training programs available to develop that potential. Next slide po. Next slide. So, the core competence of hospitality organization as providing service and unless nagkaroon ng experience is providing service na felt the pressure of guests in your face at makahanap ng mga paraan para ma-resolve ang problem ng mga on the spot problems. Don't really know what it's like kasi adin pa rin ito sa experience. You have experience kung paano mo ma-solve yung isang problem. Knowing the culture. Organizations like to promote internal candidates because much of the training is in the organizational culture has already been done. Internal candidates also already know the company's beliefs and values and have proven themselves to be comfortable in that culture. So another reason or advantage of hiring internal candidates is alam nila and comfortable sila sa culture na kinabibilangan nila. At alam na nila kung ano yung environment ng kumpanya. So, the cultural learning curve for promoted internal candidates is substantially reduced as they already know the office political structure, the corporate goals, and the real way things get done in the organization and what the organization really believes in and rewards. Next po. Lower cost. Internal recruitment also has the general advantage of reducing cost. There is no need to pay for advertisement and travel expenses of candidates to be interviewed, and the decision often requires less time, which saves money. Advantage din ang reducing cost kasi may ibang company na nagbabayad pa para sa hiring advertisement tulad na lamang sa TV. Like sa madaling araw, may mga nakikita tayong sa isang TV program na nagpapakita ng job vacancies at the end ng kanilang program. So, for example, nito is yung sa Umagang Kay Ganda. After ng program nila is meron silang post ng job vacancies. So, sa mga posters, syempre, magbabayad sila sa pagpapagawa ng posters para lang makahire sila from the external. May mga company din na may pa-free meal para sa mga applicants. Yung during interview, yung iba may mga free meal sila. Syempre, magbabayad din sila sa pagluluto or sa pag-order nito. So, less time also kasi they have decisions kung sino sa mga employees ang pwede i-promote to the said position. So, hiring from within, nakaka-less time sila at nakakapag-decide agad sila kung sino yung karapat-dapat sa isang position na bakante. So, cost savings occur because there are fewer eligible employees and ultimately fewer applicants for a given position than would be the case had external candidates also been considered. A well-prepared company can use internal selection successfully to move good people up through the organization. But if not well prepared, it may find itself forced to select from a pool of less qualified employees. So kung wala naman silang makitang well prepared from the internal interviews, no choice sila kundi ang pumili dun sa mga external candidates na willing magtrabaho para sa kumpanya. And alam nila at meron din silang tinataglay na qualifications na hinahanap para sa isang position. So, let's move on to internal search strategies. So, a pool of internal candidates can be created in one of two ways: job postings or a review of personal records. So, many organizations announce open positions to employees via a company intranet. Intranet yung intranet is private network created for the company only. Tapos pinopost sa bulletin boards, sa newsletters, or other means of communication. Sometimes, yung mga employees are informed of openings before they are publicly announced. Sinasabi na sa kanila kung ano yung sa loob ng company, sinasabi na sa kanila kung ano yung available na position na pwedeng pag-applyan. Thus giving internal candidates the first chance to apply for position. So para maging handa sila kung willing ba silang ma-promote or inaayos pa nila yung sarili nilang abilities. So post the job on your corporate website if you don't have an intranet. So websites yung sa social medias, may mga hindi lang sa websites, may mga social medias din na nagpo-post na ng mga hiring na kumpanya. For example, for the review of personal records, some companies use their employee records to identify potentially qualified candidates. So yun nga sinasabi ni Sir kanina na mayroon mga records yung every employee at doon pwede mag-browse yung mga employer kung sino ang qualified na candidate. So next po. For example, Hilton Hotels uses a computer application that tracks such factors as employee profiles, past performance ratings, employment history, skill sets, employee interest and career aspirations, willingness to relocate, and languages spoken. Wait lang po. Wala. Ito. Shoes. Nawawala ako. Wait lang. for example, Hilton Hotels uses computer application. So, ang slide nito. Anong slide na to, Net? Ayun. Ayun, ito. Sorry. So, Hilton can instantly access the records ng mga qualified candidates from across its entire set of properties and determine who might be a good fit for, say, a new general manager position in San Diego. $98 po. Okay, next na. So this technology provides decision makers with instant access to a potentially large pool of applicants for whom they already have good performance and competency data. So, tinutulungan ng sa isang yung computer application na ginamit ni Hilton, tinutulungan nito ang employees to manage their careers by matching their preferences and qualifications with the requirements of an open positions. Makikita agad ng employee kung ano yung kailangan nilang i-prepare para maging qualified sa position with greater responsibility. Some companies like Darden Restaurants manage internal promotions and transfer even more proactively. They develop succession plans in which employee careers are planned over a long period, including the progression through a number of key positions or key locations. So when a position becomes available, may list na agad ang company ng mga finalist for that job or even a person already identified to take on a new role. Succession plans allow a company to identify talented personnel and put them through appropriate training and increasingly challenging job positions to prepare them for taking on greater responsibility. So yung succession plans is isang process at strategy para sa pagpaplano ng kapalit or pagpasa sa leadership. Isang strategy para sa pagpaplano ng kapalit or pagpasa sa leadership roles. Ginagamit ito para ma-identify at bumuo ng mga bago potential leaders na magagampanan ng tungkulin kapag bakante ang posisyon. So, hiring internal candidates. Next po. So, finding the right candidates to work in your organization is a crucial part of ensuring your company's success. Effective hiring practices can save your company time, money, and other resources. Determining the best strategies for recruitment is important part of locating the most qualified candidates who will fit well within your organization. So, not every job can be filled by an internal candidate. Internal recruitment is by definition limiting. So, in some circumstances, looking outside the company for a new employees has a number of advantages. A company internal labor pool is almost always smaller than the total labor pool. So, ito yung advantage ng hiring external candidates. Ito yung advantage. So, one problem with new ideas and fresh perspectives. One problem with hiring internally, which usually involves promotions and transfers, is that it limits the diversity of experience of the candidate population. When companies hire only from within for everything except entry-level position, everyone's experience comes from the same organization. Employees may learn very well how business is done in their company, but they may have no idea of how other companies are doing the same things, and in particular, how others might be handling certain problems in a better way. So bringing in outside hires can add a new perspective sa isang organization. A new viewpoint can help para malaman ang areas of improvement and make recommendations. New employees approach the company differently than those who already work there, and this can lead to positive changes sa kanilang department and sa company as well. Some companies have come to rely on hiring from the benchmark organizations as a way to reduce their own training cost while obtaining the talent they need to be competitive. This strategy can be expensive, as hiring someone away from an existing external job will generally cost more than developing such a person internally. But for some specialized or senior positions, the benefits gained may be worth the cost. Next po. Difficulties with internal candidates. The company that promotes from within often promotes its best line level employees into supervisory or managerial roles, but good line level employees do not always make a good managers, nor do all of them want to become managers. For example, by promoting the best front desk agent to front desk supervisor, the company may be losing a great agent with great customer service skills and acquiring a bad manager with poor leadership abilities. Convincing a bellman or waitress to become a manager may be difficult, as employees in top position frequently make more money than their supervisors. So unless organizations are willing to develop systematically to take on the greater responsibilities of higher level positions, promotion from within might do more harm than good. Similarly, if a culture change is desired or yung particular talent ay unavailable sa internal labor pool, adhering to the practice of promoting from within can fail para ma-produce ang characteristics na required para sa magiging bagong leaders. Next po. Specific skills and knowledge. While hiring from within can be a means to motivate and retain lower-level staff interested in a promotion, external candidates may be desirable when a needed ability or combination of abilities in a specific job is unavailable among existing employees. Although karamihan sa mga hospitality leaders can tell many stories of general managers nagsumikap ma-promote from entry-level positions, many aspects of running a hospitality business may require particular knowledge and training that a firm may not always be able to provide internally. For example, the knowledge of accounting, IT, next po, finance, human resources, law, marketing, revenue management, statistics, and strategy that a general manager needs in order to run a profitable hotel. Hotel cannot necessarily be picked up along the way without some sort of external education or experience at the same level at a different company. So, while organizations would like to promote internal candidates, the technological revolution is happening so fast that the traditional in-house training process are often not able to keep up. Next po. Ayan. The hospitality industry increasingly looks to the more technologically advanced industries for filling positions for filling positions that require application of up-to-date technologies to emerging hospitality focus areas. In short, the hospitality industry is becoming more sophisticated. Companies are recognizing that to acquire specific sorts of skills and experiences, they have to look outside the company for people with particular education, experience, or a good combination of the two. So dahil nga sa lumalawak ng hospitality industry, so karamihan sa hospitality organization or sa companies is ang hinahanap kapag nag-hire ay yung college graduates na degree holder na related ang degree niya sa vacant job positions, at meron namang nagbe-base sa experience or both college graduate with experience na. Because the pace at which technologies are changing, next pa po. Because the pace at which technologies are changing is so rapid, and because the sophistication of the business of hospitality is increasing, the traditional strategy of start at the bottom and grow your way to the top by watching others doing it as we've always done it can no longer be viewed as necessarily the best way to fill all positions. So, habang tumatagal, mabilis din na lumalawak or nagbabago ang technologies. That way, hindi na masyadong sinusunod ang kasabihan na start at the bottom and grow your way to the top by watching others doing it as we've always done it. Dahil karamihan sa mga job applicants sa panahon ngayon ay mulat na kung paano gamitin ang mga technologies. At ang tanging labanan lamang para makuha ang posisyon is the particular education related sa vacant position. Okay. Next, diversity. Another concern with promotion from within is that it can limit diversity at higher organizational levels. If a company hires only from within, its diversity in higher level positions is limited by the employee demographics already present. External recruitment. Maaaring makatulong din ito sa pag-increase ng diversity in your organization. Incorporating a variety of perspective can lead to innovation and more effective practices. Creating a diverse workforce in an organization and giving a platform to a range of voices ay tumutulong sa pag-promote ng inclusions and empowerment. Enhancing diversity takes a concerted effort to seek diverse applicant pools and to have managers willing to hire people who do not necessarily look or sound like themselves. Embracing diversity, next po, is not about being politically correct. It is a good business. Clearly, you have to act within the law. U.S. federal laws prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, color, national origin, sex, religion, or age if 40 and over. Disability status, veteran status, and genetic information. Some, but not all, jurisdictions prohibited discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. Dual career couples, same-sex partners, single mothers with child care responsibilities, grown children with elder care responsibilities. All these and many other demographics are up to represented in the hospitality organization's workforce. So ina-avoid ngayon ang mga discrimination sa trabaho kasi lahat naman tayo nangangailangan. So no matter how diverse the hospitality organization workforce, the fact remains that guest contact personnel will be different in most ways from the guests they serve. So no matter what ano man ang status mo sa buhay, Sa hospitality industry, kailangan lang dun is meron kang guest contact at at alam mo kung paano makisama sa mga guests or customers. External search strategies. When looking to hire externally, companies can develop an appropriate pool of applicants in many ways. There are some list of important external search strategies para sa malaking hospitality organizations in cities and towns where the tourism and hospitality industries dominate. Mga strategies na ito, yung i-discuss natin is especially important para makapag-provide ng tremendous number of people na kailangan ng isang hospitality industry. Seasonal fluctuations in demand for hospitality services only compound the problem by requiring intensive recruitment and selection drives to prepare for an expected seasonal rush. Like example, kapag malapit na ang summer, which is maraming guests ang dadagsa from different part of the country or different country. Like let's just say sa Boracay or Palawan. Expected na natin na maraming nag-hire during this season. In different hospitality organization because in demand lalong-lalo na in terms of service. So, there are some sources used for external recruitment. Advertising. A message containing general information about the job and the organization is placed in various media such as newspapers, radio, and television. Makikita natin sa sinabi nga kanina, makikita natin sa advertisement part ng newspapers as well as sa TV like sa yung sinabi kong Umagang Kay Ganda at the end of the program, nag-advertise sila ng vacant jobs in a particular company. So sa ngayon din, advertising, nagamit din natin ang social medias like Facebook. May mga pages na ginagawa para makapag-join ang mga job hunters. So, associations and unions. Many occupations have state, regional, or national associations that hold meetings, publish newsletters, and represent the interests of the occupation. Such associations frequently have job placement units, for example, Hotel and Restaurant Association of the Philippines or HRAP, Philippine Hotel Owners Association, Executive Housekeepers Association of the Philippines or EHAP. Next, colleges and secondary schools. Organization members are sent to college and schools to meet with individuals or groups of students who provide specific information about the organization or their jobs and to answer any questions. Some hospitality organizations have their sinasabing partner schools. They may also perform the first review of applicants. Yung organization members pwedeng magbi-visit sa isang school, for example, universities and colleges. Sa isang universities and colleges na nag-offer ng tourism, hospitality, and culinary as well. So, yun. Next is employee referral programs. When using this word of mouth technique, employees are provided with information about job openings and asked to refer individuals to the company. Ito yung nirefer ka ng kakilala mo na nagwo-work sa isang hospitality organization at hiring ang company nila. Often the employee is given a bonus if the referred individual is selected. Kapag nirefer ka niya sa kanilang company, kapag nakuha ka, kapag natanggap ka, yung nag-recruit sa'yo ay makakakuha ng bonus At kapag naman hindi ka rejected yung application mo, the employee is customarily given a brief explanation. Employment agencies. The firm contacts an organization whose main purpose is to locate job seekers. The company provides the agency with information about the job, which the agency then passes along to its clients. Clients can be either employed or unemployed. Agencies can be either public or private. Example ng agencies, example ng agencies are Hospitality Innovators Incorporated sa Muntinlupa, CTI Group Philippines, Asia World Hospitality sa Makati, and Global Hospitality Placement Agency Philippines Corporation sa Quezon City. Sila yung agencies na kumukuha ng mga applicants para sa hospitality industry. Employment events, job fairs, career fairs. These events are especially organized to attract a large number of potential candidates to a specific location on a certain day who are then interviewed for jobs. These events can be held in conjunction with other organizations and maybe in one's own labor market or a distant location where unemployment is high. So, yung job fairs, doon sila pumupunta sa isang lugar na maraming unemployed. So, job fairs are also increasingly being held in central business district locations where any potential employee can talk to recruiters from sponsoring organizations. So, ito yung may mga announcement yung munisipyo na mayroong job fair sa plaza, mga ganun, or sa mga malls. The internet. The firm can either post information about open positions on its own website or contract with an internet recruiting service. Gizmo. These services are only job centers that offer many organizations a site for listing jobs across many jobs categories and locations. So, makaka-access yung sa job seekers, makaka-access yung job seekers can access the job center and view job postings according to job title, company name, geographic location, and so on. Some centers will perform an initial match between applicant characteristics and company job requirements. Like example, if gusto mo mag-work in a hospitality organization abroad, pwedeng mag-search sa link ng accredited agency ng Philippine Overseas Employment Administration or POEA. Meron din sa page ng hospitality industry sa FB. May mga links din na pinopost if ever may mga members na naghahanap ng trabaho. Next, temporary employment firms. Companies sometimes need to fill short-term positions that do not warrant commitment of resources to recruit, select, and train people. Temporary employment firms like Kelly Services and Manpower help to fill such vacancies. Ang job contracts are limited lang dito sa temporary employment firms, ang job contracts are limited lang to less than a year or binabayaran sila, yung rate nila is hourly. Binabayaran sila in an hourly rate. Although some temporary workers hope they may be considered for permanent employment, others like the flexibility and variation that working for temporary employment firms offers. Sir, di po masyado marinig. Po, sir? Public advertising po. Okay po, sir. Walk-ins. Okay na po, sir? Okay, sa walk-ins po. Next po. Unsolicited individuals sometimes initiate contact with the organization. The number depends on such factors as the nature of the business, the level of the positions open, the image of the company. Kapag di ka sa walk-ins, kapag di ka na talaga makapag-antay sa mga text or email sa'yo ng mga pinagpasahan mo ng resumes online, mag-i-initiate ka na talaga na magpunta na mismo sa isang organization or sa isang hospitality company. The number depends on such efforts as the number of business, the level of positions open, and the image of the company. So, makikita mo rin yung kung ano, the frequency of job openings and how the closed labor market is to the hiring company. So, doon malalaman mo agad kung may possibilities ba, at makikita mo agad yung environment ng company na gusto mong papasukan. Next po. Next po. In the end, regardless of the specific economic or business situation, ang major challenge lang for all hospitality organizations is how to both create and maintain a qualified external labor pool in a cost-effective way. Okay na po.
Alright, so since yun nga, from the internal to external, okay? From internal na paghahanap of this possible employee, okay? So we go now dun sa external na tinatawag. So magtitingin tayo ngayon if there is a possible employee na since walang available within the organization, now we're going to look for the external people na pwede nating i-hire. So, ang gagawin ng recruitment agency or the human resource department, mag-a-advertise sila, maghahanap sila with the other or through social media, newspaper, radio, television, and also associations and unions. Magpa-publish din sila ng sa mga newsletters for this vacant position na kung meron mang interested for this specific vacant position. Okay, also sa colleges and secondary, and also pag may ni-refer yung employee na, ay sir, may kakilala po ako na pwede nating i-hire or pwedeng mag-apply for that position. And also employment agency, yan yung mga agency na alam natin na nagko-collect sila ng mga applicants, and then sasabihin nila sa mga agency na yon na may vacant sa ganito, are you interested? Employment event, job fairs and career fairs, through internet, yung social medias, temporary employment firms, and walk-ins. Walk-ins yung tipong yung mga tao na hindi naman pumunta sa agency to look for a job, okay, or nagbabaka sakali lang to get the position in that organization. Alright, so since it's already time, okay, we will cut the discussion hanggang dito sa external search strategies. Okay, and then magkakaroon kami ng separate meeting with this group to record their discussion. Okay. Do you have any question, further clarification for this topic? Any other additional information from the reporters? O since Miss Gadia, Miss Clemente, since tatlo lang naman kayong reporters, so I will be expecting na tatlo din kayo na mag-attend dun sa discussion natin, ha? Okay? Alright? Okay, so one moment. Okay, so I think 5, 6, I think tapusin lang natin yung chapter 6 and then yun na lang din yung eco-coverage natin for the for your midterm exam. Okay, and then i-record na lang natin or if possible na matapos or if possible na available naman yung reporters and for example next week most probably ang ating magiging midterm will be on the 25th. Okay? 25th. Coverage po nun, I will announce it to the GC na lang natin. Okay? Do you have any question? Kayo po, reporters. Question po, clarification. Wala naman. Okay, so thank you very much, Miss Gadia, Miss Clemente, and Miss Magno for this presentation. I will be requesting again, magpapa-fill out ulit ako ng attendance ninyo.
Sir, pa-shoutout ka po.
Oh, shoutout. Sige, shoutout ka na.
Shoutout mga Beshi Wops. Andito na ako sa YouTube niyo, sir.
Sana kanina mo sinabi yan. Okay, so I sent the link doon sa ating chat box sa live. So please click that link and then yon. If you are done, kindly comment present. And then dun sa last part ng attendance nyo, kindly write one sentence that gives or that you've learned in this discussion or in this presentation. Okay? And kindly comment present here. External na lang. Press external, paki-comment po external /present here sa ano natin, sa comment box natin. Sino daw? Si Ren?
Si Ron Buhay.
Ron Buhay. Si Ron shoutout po kay kay Ron Buhay na masigasig na nakikinig at nagpa-participate sa ating discussion.
Sir, tapusin ko yung shoutout ko.
Sige lang. Go ahead.
Shoutout Almira Shi, Giselle Shi, Sherlyn Shi, Madia, Aina Shi. That's all.
Okay. May mga gusto pa magpa-shoutout dyan. Shoutout.
Request nila yun, sir.
Almir. Parang wala naman si Almira dito sa sa live natin. Almir, nandun pala siya pala yung kaunahan. Sorry. Ayan, shout out nga pala sa 2HM1 na nag-exam kanina kay Sir Mark. Kalahati daw po sa inyo ay bagsak at kalahati ay congratulations, nakapasa po kayo. Na-check mo na ba, sir? Hindi pa. Hindi pa pala na-check. Keme lang pala yung kalahati bagsak. Yun, thank you. Talaga ba? Ayun. Okay, so Miss Gadia, tuloy tayo bukas ha sa meeting natin. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much then, Miss Clemente. Miss Magno, okay ka pa dyan?
Yes po, sir.
Okay ka pa dyan? Relax na relax ka. Sige, ma'am. Sa discussion natin, gigisahin kita. Since ikaw yung mostly yung may natitirang discussion. Alright, so sige na, you can leave the meeting room now. Thank you, Miss Gadia, Miss Clemente, and Miss Mag. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Sir.
Thank you. Go down when you go down, down. Say right now, when you go down.